Welcome to the deep dive.
Ugh.
Today, we are jumping into some really powerful source material. It's all about persistence, resilience,
Yeah.
the drive to keep going.
Right. And our mission here isn't just about, feeling a bit more motivated.
No, definitely not. We're digging deep to pull out the knowledge on developing what this source actually calls the single best quality in the world.
Which is?
The quality of being truly unstoppable.
Okay.
Yeah, and the whole source kind of revolves around this central question. What is the highest quality a person can develop? Their answer is just that, being unstoppable.
But that can sound maybe a bit like a slogan on a poster, right?
Exactly, but
Okay.
fluffy. We need to understand what that actually looks like when you're really tested.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And that's where this source gets interesting. It doesn't really talk about simple everyday setbacks.
No.
No, it focuses on the forging process. We need to understand the kind of extreme adversity, that really low point that tests your commitment, tests your sanity, frankly. This isn't just overcoming a small obstacle. It's about surviving what feels like a total collapse.
Okay, that distinction is important because the source actually gives this moment a specific name, a really vivid phrase.
What's that?
The need for 4.0 in the morning courage.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, when you hear that, you know it's not about, hidden snooze too many times.
No, it implies that really deep, dark hour, self-doubt central.
Right. So let's unpack that. What exactly is this 4 a.m. moment, according to the source?
Well, they don't leave it vague, which is helpful. It's defined as that moment when things go completely to pieces.
Completely the pieces.
Yeah. And what's really striking is the specific combination of failures they seem to require to qualify for this ultimate test.
It sounds like they really pile it on, don't they? They list these specific gut punch kind of events across different parts of your life.
Exactly. Like professionally, it's when your very best deal falls apart.
The big one. The one you were counting on.
The one that was supposed to fix things. That's the sort of financial hit they mean. But that's just the beginning. The source seems to insist that this failure has to be compounded. It needs personal, internal, and external pressures all at once.
So the deal falls apart, A&D.
And the tangible stress hits home. Your rent is late, so it's not just disappointment, it's actual financial distress.
Right, okay. Deal gone, rent late. Yeah. What else?
Then they add the physical and the social breakdown to create this feeling of, total system failure.
How so?
You are simultaneously tired and sick, so your body's failing you, and just to make it worse, everybody is mad at you.
Wow. So you're physically drained and socially isolated.
Precisely. And then the final kicker.
There's more.
Yep. Your logistics fail, your car doesn't work.
The car too. Okay, so deal falls apart, rent late, tired and sick, everyone's mad at you, and your car breaks down.
That's the picture they paint. That's the 4 a.m. moment.
Why list all 5? Wouldn't losing the big deal be enough to test someone?
That's a really good question. Why the broken car and the late rent? It seems almost excessive.
Yeah, like insisting on maximum suffering.
I think the point is that a single failure, even a big one, often lets you find an excuse, right? Or you can focus your energy on fixing just that one thing.
Okay, I see.
But the source is defining the extreme test. When all these things hit you at once, especially at 4 a.m., that hour of lowest resistance, you can't just blame bad luck.
Right. There's no single scapegoat.
Exactly. It forces you past tactical adjustments. It tests you at your core identity. It demands a complete internal decision.
That makes a lot more sense. It's only when the whole system crashes, financial, physical, social, logistical, that you're forced to look purely inward.
Right. And what's required then isn't rest or retreat.
It's something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
The source says the reaction needed in that absolute low moment is for the person to pick themselves up.
Pick themselves up. Even then.
Even then. And the key is the internal affirmation has to be absolute. It's the statement, nothing is going to stop me. Like a zero tolerance policy for quitting inside your own head.
Wow. That's the inner vow they talk about, isn't it? It
Sure.
shifts you from just surviving to actively choosing.
Exactly. The source tells us to make that personal commitment concrete. To say to yourself, no matter what life throws at me, it'll never stop me. And fundamentally, I will never quit.
It's like a personal mandate for resilience.
Yes. And if you think about the bigger picture, this vow isn't just about getting through the current crisis.
It's about the next one.
Sort of. It's about deciding who you are an unstoppable person before the next crisis even hits. It's like building immunity to the psychological hit of that 4 a.m. moment.
Because you've already decided the outcome.
You've predetermined that you will get up. The setback happens, but your response is already locked in.
Okay, that leads perfectly into what the source says about failure itself. It shifts from just reacting to adversity
to actually expecting it, requiring it even.
Right. The identity you build with that inner vow gets immediately tested because failure is just part of the deal.
And what's fascinating is how explicit the source is about obstacles. They aren't just bad luck, they're guaranteed. Non-negotiable.
Cost of entry, basically.
Exactly. The cost of trying to achieve anything meaningful.
And the source is pretty blunt about it. It says if you decide to go for a real goal, you are going to get knocked down over and over and over and over again.
That repetition 4 times really hits home, doesn't it?
It does. It shatters any illusion of success being a smooth path. It basically says failure is the default state when you're moving forward.
And that constant getting knocked down is seen as mandatory because, and this is the counterintuitive part, that's where you actually build competence.
How so?
Well, if you succeed easily on the first try, what have you really learned about the system's limits, about your own ability to adapt when things go wrong?
Not much, I guess.
Right. The knockdowns force you to learn.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me because the source makes this critical connection. Without those obstacles, no success is possible. I want to push on that. We often hear obstacles make us stronger, prepare us. But this is their essential building blocks. How does losing a deal or your rent being late literally build the capacity for success?
I think it's the difference between knowing something theoretically and knowing it viscerally through practice. Failure forces radical reinvention right now.
Okay, give me an example.
Well, the late rent. It forces you to get incredibly good, incredibly quickly at budgeting, cash flow, maybe finding new income streams, things you might ignore otherwise.
Right, until you have to deal with it.
Exactly. The broken deal forces you to analyze every assumption, maybe build a much stronger network, improve your negotiation skills. The obstacle gives you immediate, painful, but very precise feedback on exactly where you're weak.
So avoiding the knockdowns, the beatings, as the source implies.
Yeah.
You're actually preventing yourself from learning the skills you need for the next level.
That seems to be the argument. The difficulty isn't just making you tougher mentally, it's actively building the specific skills and insights you need. That 4 a.m. moment is, in a weird way, productive.
Wow. Okay, so it confirms that inner vow you made, the setbacks have to happen, and your response is everything.
Precisely. The resilience mandate is crystal clear. You can be exhausted, worn out, facing all 5 those horrible 4 a.m. elements. But the final choice remains. Nothing is ever going to stop you.
It's a choice you make regardless of how you feel or what's happening around you.
Yes. And underpinning that mental commitment has to be action.
What kind of action?
It's actually quite simple, according to the source. Yeah. The required behavior is just give it your best shot.
Try hard.
Consistently. Intentional effort, day after day. Whether the car works or not, whether the rent's paid or not, that constant effort is the physical manifestation of the inner vow. It's the foundation.
Okay. Keep showing up. Keep trying.
And this leads us to the payoff. What's the ultimate reward for cultivating this quality, for sticking to that never quit stance through thick and thin?
What does the source say?
It identifies it as the basis of self-esteem.
Self-esteem, not like wealth or success.
That might come, but the fundamental reward, the source argues, is internal. It's how you feel about yourself, which is a really crucial psychological point.
So if we connect that to the bigger picture, true self-worth doesn't come from the outcome, winning the deal, finally paying the rent.
Right. It comes from the process, the persistence itself.
That makes sense. External success can vanish, right? It depends on outside factors.
Exactly. But that inner conviction you get from resilience, that's yours. It's internally validated. When you prove to yourself again and again that you're the kind of person who gets back up, even when you're sick, broke, alone, you build this undeniable sense of worth.
Your self-esteem is built on the effort despite the pain, not just on the win.
Precisely. That's why the best shot, the effort, is the foundation. You're proving your own integrity to yourself.
That really reframes how we tend to think about self-worth, doesn't it? It's not about avoiding the hits.
No, it's about embracing the cycle. Get knocked down, choose to stand up, repeat.
So thinking about all this, what does it mean for you listening right now? We've pulled out, I think, 3 really big takeaways from this deep dive into being unstoppable.
Yeah, first is identifying that quality you need to cultivate, being unstoppable, defining yourself by that commitment to rise again.
Second, expect the extreme failures. Brace for that full 440 in the morning courage moment. Understand that severity is almost part of the design.
And third, really internalize that failure. Getting knocked down repeatedly isn't the opposite of success. It's the prerequisite for it.
Yeah. The core message really isn't just be tough. It's about making a deep decision about who you choose to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The value isn't in dodging the late rent or the broken car. It's in that absolute internal decision. I'm the person who gets up every single time, because you understand that that capacity to rise is what real success is built on.
Okay, so here's a final thought for you to really wrestle with. Based on this idea that self-esteem comes from persistence through failure, if success truly requires getting knocked down over and over and over and over again, how much does the fear of that first knockdown, or maybe the next one, actually prevent you from building the very self-esteem the source talks about?
That's a powerful question.
Yeah. What specific setback are you maybe afraid of right now? That financial hit, that potential rejection, that feeling of isolation. What if you reframed it? What if you saw it not as something to avoid at all costs, but as the necessary ingredient for your next breakthrough?
Food for thought, definitely.
We hope you'll take this knowledge, mull it over, and maybe start building that 4.0 AM courage starting today. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.